Hello students, welcome to e-learning session. Today we'll understand theory of evolution and evidences. Let's start. Students, we learn that first primitive cell is formed from the mixture of different organic and inorganic compounds. And then number of cells gets developed, their numbers get increased from this primitive cell. It happened due to chemicals that are present in the surroundings. So as the number of the cells get developed, we saw variations in these cells. These differences occurred why these differences occurred? According to the principle of natural selections, these differences occurred because some cells show good growth by using that chemicals. They developed changes according to the environment, but some cells they get perished because they could not adjust with the developing surroundings. So due to this adjustment, we saw variations in these cells, developed cells. At present, crores of varieties of both plants and animals with huge diversity regarding shape and then complexity, the nature of their body structure, that is shape and complexity. Shape and complexity. There are crores of plants and animals are seen on the earth. The plants that ranges from unicellular chlorella to huge banyan tree, and in animals from unicellular amoeba to gigantic whale. We see this variety on the earth. At present, life is seen everywhere on the earth. Life is seen in that equatorial region. From there we can see life on the polar region also, North Pole, South Pole, everywhere on the earth. We see life in air also, in the water also, on land, on rocks, etc. And we know that human mind is, or human brain is very powerful. So human brain is having curiosity about origin of life. So as a result, many scientists made attempt to trace the life diversity, why diversity occurred in the life, and to trace the origin of life in the past. Students, different theories about origin of life and evolution of life have been proposed by different scientists till today, out of which the theory of gradual development of living organism is accepted, widely accepted. Students, according to the theory of evolution, protoplasm is which is required for living cell is formed in the ocean, and with due course of time, when it was formed in ocean, with due course of time, unicellular living thing was formed from it. Okay, then as I told you, while copying DNA, if there is change in concentration, then environment played important role. We see variations among that cells. Okay, and then from these unicellular organisms, larger organisms were formed. These larger organisms, they were complex. Now what is meant by complex? First understand. Now unicellular organisms is having organelles. Okay. These organelles, they perform different functions. Like nucleus, it controls and coordinate. Mitochondria, it releases energy. Then cytoplasm is there. Golgi complex, it digests the waste materials. Means Golgi complex, it produces lysosomes which digest the waste material or worn out material of the cell. So different organelles perform different functions, but as larger animals were formed. Now how they were formed? Earlier period of time, cell was there. It was formed from the protoplasm. We say at that time cellular level organization came into existence. When it falls short, means what happens? When like cells come together which perform similar functions, okay, they form tissue with the passage of time. Now here complex level form because there are different tissues which perform different functions, and then complexity goes on increasing. From tissues organs are formed, so complexity goes on increasing. That's why from the cell larger and complex, okay, organisms were formed. But it took near about 300 crore years to develop these larger and complex organisms, because the changes that took place in cells and tissues, they were very slow. These changes were very slow, and these changes, they were permanent. So it took large period of time, near about 300 crore years. Students, the changes and development in living organisms had been all round and multidimensional. So it leads to the evolution of different types of organisms. Students, progressive development of plants and animals from the ancestors having different structural and functional organization is called as evolution. This is the main definition. So what is evolution? It is a progressive development of what? Plants and animals from the ancestors which were having different structural and functional organization. So this process is called as evolution. Students, till now we learned that there are different theories which states that evolution is everlasting process. What? Everlasting process of changes. So, but if it is everlasting process of changes, it needs proofs that which proves that evolution is a process of changes. So there are different evidences which tells us that changes took place in organisms. That's why we see varieties or diversity in living organisms. Now we will start learning morphological evidences. How these evidences help us to prove that all these different organisms, they originated from common ancestors. First we will understand what is meant by morphology. Morphology is a study of forms, study of the forms of things. Now we will understand morphology. Look at these pictures. So this is dog. Look, the position of eyes, nostril, and that external ear, that is called as pinna, or here also. You just observe again eyes, pinna, that is external ear, and hair, nostrils, etc. So here are 3 pics of animals. Now what similarities do you see? We see similarities, though these are different animals, but we see similarities regarding the position of eyes, their external ears, nostrils and hair. This similarity tells us that these animals, though they are differ from each other, but they have common ancestor. Understood? So all these animals, they are evolved from common ancestors. Now observe the leaves of these plants. This is mango. See their mango leaf. Then we'll observe the leaves of other fruits. Okay. We see variety. Some are palmately compound, some are pinnately compound. So they are different, but their arrangement is different. But we see similarities in the leaves of these different plants. Now we'll understand structure of leaf. This part of the leaf is called as petiole. This petiole, it connects the leaf to the stem. Understood? This is a stem. So this petiole, it connects leaf to the stem. Now this is a vein. Okay. And these are the network of veins which supports the leaf, which provide the leaf water and minerals, and then photosynthesis takes place here. So this, from this edge to this edge, it is called as leaf blade. This is the tip of the leaf. Okay. Now this leaf, such arrangement, only single leaf, then it is a simple leaf. When single leaf is attached to the stem, it is called as simple leaf. But if there are leaves, they are arranged in group. So such arrangement is called as opposite arrangements. If they are arranged like this, such arrangement is alternate arrangement. Sometimes we see arrangement of leaf like this. Okay. So such arrangement is called as desiccate arrangement. Though their arrangement is different, their shapes are different. We know, we see a variety of leaves, but their basic function is photosynthesis. So they perform photosynthesis. They trap solar energy or light energy, and then they convert it into chemical energy. So what it tells us that? It tells us that these plants, they are evolved from common ancestors. If you look carefully at the picture of human hand, cat's 4 legs, patagium of bat and flipper of a whale, these organs perform different functions, but they show similarity in the structure of bones and bony joints. As they perform different functions, but they show similarity in the structure of bones and bony joints, it indicates that these animals, they may have common ancestors. Such evidences are called as anatomical evidences. In short, we can tell that anatomical evidences show similarity in structure, but they perform different functions.